I am Aljeperson Nagorico, and in this video I will explain one of the depreciation method that we use in civil engineering. The service output method, also known as the unit of production method. So what is the service output method, you may ask? The service output method is a depreciation technique where the depreciation expense is based on the actual usage of the asset. So instead of we depreciating an asset by year, this method measures how much the asset was used, whether through unit produced, hours operated, or kilometers traveled. This means that the more the asset is used, the higher the depreciation expense. If the asset is used lesser, the depreciation is lower. This is important because it gives more accurate measurement of wear and tear, and it is ideal for machines, vehicles, and equipment that do not have consistent usage every year. So now let's solve some example problems. So let's solve this example problem. An equipment costs 400,000 pesos and has a life of 30,000 hours at the end of its salvage value, which we denote as X pesos. In the first year, it was used for 6,240 hours, and the book value at the end of the first year was 325,120 pesos. Find the value of X in pesos. So first is to identify the given. So our first cost is equal to 400,000. Our salvage value is equal to X, which is in the problem we denote it as X, since that is what we're looking for. Then we also given our quantity produced during economic life, which is the QN. QN is equal to 30,000 hours. We also have our quantity produced during the economic life. Quantity produced up to a year, which is year 1. So Q1 is equal to 6,240 hours. And lastly, we are given the book value at year 1. In solving this kind of problem and using this method, these are the three formulas we need to remember. First, we have book value at M is equal to first cost minus DM. Then DM is equal to D times QM, and D is equal to first cost minus salvage value divided by QN. So obviously, based on the given, is we cannot solve directly for salvage value or the X. We need to first identify what is our depreciation charge, and in order to get the depreciation charge, we need to first identify also what our total depreciation. So first is we use this first formula. So BVM is equal to first cost minus DM. So more specifically, we have BV at the first year was first cost, so we also have D1. Using algebra, this formula will turn into D1 is equal to first cost minus BV1. So see what I did there? It's just basic algebra. So putting the value, first cost is 400,000 minus 325,120 pesos. Let's get our calculator. So our total depreciation at the first year is 74,880. So now that we have this value, we can then proceed in using the second formula in order to get the depreciation charge. So let's write down the formula. Tm is equal to D times Qm. So again, more specifically, it's D1 equals D times Q1. And the same process as the first one, using algebra, we will write the formula, and this will become D is equal to D1 divided by Q1. So now it will be easy for us to put on the values. So D1, we have 74,880 pesos, and our Q1 is 6,240 hours. So putting that value in our calculator, we have 74,880,000, then 6,240. Hey, wrong, sorry. This one is 6. So 12. So our depreciation charge is 12 pesos per hour. So 12 pesos per hour. So this is the depreciation charge. Now, finally, we can proceed to using the last formula, which what we will use to get the salvage value or the X value. So D is equal to the first cost minus dx, which is what we're looking for here, then divided by the Qn. And same with the with the first and the second procedure, we still use algebra. We write the formula down, and this will become X is equal to first cost minus D divided by Qn. So if you don't understand what I did there, so I'm gonna show you. So first, we divide both sides by Qn. So Qn. So this will cancel. The next is we transpose this to the other side. So it will become positive X. Then the Qn times the D will also be transposed into the other side, and this will become negative Qn times D. So that process leads to this formula, this one. So now, using this formula, X is equal to the first cost minus the depreciation charge times the quantity produced during economic life, which is denoted as Qn, and putting our value first, I'm sorry. So putting our value, so our first cost is 400,000 pesos minus by the depreciation charge, which is 12 pesos per hour, and the quantity produced during the economic life is 30,000 hours. So obviously the hours will cancel, and this will give us 40,000 pesos. So our salvage value is equal to 40,000 pesos. So that's how we solve depreciation problems using this method.
Good day, everyone. I am Blair May Cubadora, and to continue, I will explain one of the accelerated depreciation methods used in engineering economy, the declining balance method. What is the declining balance method? It is a depreciation technique where the asset depreciates faster during the earlier years of its life. Now, instead of spreading depreciation evenly, this method applies a fixed rate to the book value of the asset each year. Because the book value becomes smaller every year, the depreciation expense also decreases over time. So this method is based on the idea that some assets are more productive or more useful when they are still new. This method is important because it reflects the natural decrease in efficiency or usefulness of certain assets. It is very suitable for equipment, machinery, vehicles, or tools that wear out faster during the first few years.
So we have here a sample problem. A construction company purchases a hydraulic concrete mixer for 850,000 pesos to be used in several building projects. The equipment is expected to have a useful life of 8 years and an estimated salvage value of equal to 10% of its original cost due to wear and heavy usage. Using the declining balance method, compute the depreciation and the book value at the end of 3 years. So first is we have to find the given. Tama? Tama. So first cost, we have 850,000 pesos. And for the salvage value, we have 10%, which is equal to 0.1 in decimal multiplied by the first cost is 850, 1, 2, 3 times 0.1, 85,000 pesos. Now for N, we have the lifespan of 8 years. So using the standard formula, book value over M is equals to FC multiplied by 1 minus the K, which is the rate. And then using algebra or the formula, to find the book value, we have to solve for K. So the formula for K is salvage value over the first cost times 1 over M minus 1 multiplied by negative 1. So for salvage value, we have 85,000 pesos over 850,000 pesos. 1 over the lifespan of 8 years minus 1 times negative 1. $5,000 over 850,000 pesos. 1 over 8 minus 1 times negative 1. We have 0.2501. 0.2501 for K. Now let's solve for the book value. So the first cost, 850,000 pesos times 1 minus the K, which is the 0.2501. And then for M, which is the book value at the end of 3 years, which is 3 years or 3. One minus 0.2501. We have 358 450.33. That's our book value after 3 years. Now let's compute the depreciation after 3 years. So the formula is first cost minus the book value, which is the 358 450.33. 850,000 minus 358 450.33, we have 3 minus 350, 358 450.33. Now our depreciation after 3 years is 491,549.67 pesos. Now this is our final answer.